Hello, my name is Damian Karlson, here with the professional VMware vBrownbag Tech Talks at VMworld Europe 2015. Some of you may know me from my hosting and even some presentations that I've done on the professionalVMware.com webinar. A little bit about me, some certifications, both from VMware and from EMC. I'm part of the VMware vExpert program. I have been for a number of years, as well as EMC Elect. One of the things that I'm most proud of professionally and personally has been my involvement in the vBrownbag. I have been involved with it for a number of years. I actually forget which VMworld it was, since they tend to run together after a while. However, Cody Bunch, the founder of the webinar, asked me to step in and help a little bit, as he had some other obligations for his work. And so from there, I started hosting, I started presenting, and I was very fortunate to have joined at the right time as the podcast began to grow. And now it's actually grown into a really amazing thing. And it's far bigger than those of us that produce the podcast, that host the podcast. It's not about us. It's always been about the community and helping folks basically expand their social circles and their professional circles in order to improve their career. So what is the community? The community is the VMTN forums at VMware.com, Twitter, podcasts, blogs, VMware user groups, meetups like vBrisket, vBeers, etc., and then of course conferences. Why should you care about getting involved in the community? I know that's a little bit of well, at least I feel that it's a little bit of a silly question, but the answer is that it helps you to do your job better. It can help you find a better job if necessary, and it could also help you grow personally and professionally. I know a number of folks over the years that have been able to leverage what they've done in the community to start blogging professionally, to author books, etc. And being a part of the community is much, well, I don't know, I tend to think of it in terms of a bigger reach. So if you think about your social circles, right, you've got, perhaps your neighborhood Facebook account, you've got the cashiers that you say hi to at the store, you might have a faith-based organization that you're a part of, but being involved in something like a technical community expands your social circles, and it allows you to have a broader reach, as well as make new connections and cement existing ones. What it doesn't do, and of course this is something that I've presented at VMware user groups before, it does not cure male pattern baldness, which is a thing. One of the last ones that I spoke at, a friend of mine had taken some pictures from the back of the room, and there were so many bald spots. And I was like, wow, is this like the Rogaine convention or something? So that's why I put it up in there. It's not a magic wand. It won't immediately get you to where you need to be, but it is a tool that is available to you. So a while back, and of course this is probably a little bit older data than what I would like, but a while back the vBrownbag did a survey within the community to try to understand what the impact of community has been to folks that are involved in it. So some of the questions that we asked were, what's your role? What do you do now? And as you can see, that pretty much covers the gamut of IT, both from consulting, pre-sales, post-sales, management, operations, etc. So it's not just your average IT admin, right? And so we also asked how long you've been involved in virtualization. And surprisingly, there's been a lot of tenure within the virtualization community. And to some degree, it's also not very surprising, because virtualization is and has been a key component to IT. And as folks got involved with it, they start to understand the agility, how it impacts and can benefit how they deliver their IT services. And so you start to see folks that have been around a while and they've grown, as well as folks who have just started out. And that's kind of the audience that we like to reach out to, people who need more tools at their disposal. I really have no idea what the no time was about. I think that might have been, perhaps Alistair just trolling the poll. But just being upfront with the data that we gathered. Time in IT, again, a lot of tenure, 10 plus years, which is also not very surprising. I've been involved in IT in a various number of ways for longer than I would like to discuss. However, this again kind of backs the IT role thing that I referenced in a previous slide. So what are the benefits that our poll respondents have seen from being involved within the community? Well, some folks have wrote a book, some folks have gotten a promotion, they've spoken at a conference, they've been able to change their careers, either just completely change what they're doing, or they've changed jobs. They've been able to advance a peer's career, which is something that I believe all of us at the vBrownbag are passionate about. We want to be able to help people achieve the goals that they want in ways using tools that they might not have had access to before. Other folks have gotten their certification, which is what the vBrownbag originally started as. Cody Bunch basically was kind of thinking that, hey, I've got to study. I'm sure there's other people that need to study. Let's study together, right? And then from there, it's grown quite a bit more. It's improved job performance. It's grown a network. It's made new friends. I know that I have met just hundreds and hundreds of folks all around the world, and it's been very key to my own career arc. Kind of getting to the how has it impacted or benefited your job? Just like I said, it's not a solution world peace. It's not an unlimited source of renewable energy. Some folks haven't seen a benefit, which is understandable. There's a number of different reasons why someone might not want to change a role, or they're unable to. However, probably 48% of these folks have seen changes and improvements in their career. And of course, there are some outlier things. I know folks that have been able to go from, what they were making to 200% or even more, within a very short period of time. And that's kind of a reflection of the volatility isn't quite the right word, but that's a reflection of the explosive growth of IT due to virtualization. Other folks, have you changed jobs? Have you made more? Some folks didn't. However, a majority of them have. So, some advice. If you're asking yourself, okay, I don't really know what to do. I see Twitter on here. I'm not interested in Kim Kardashian, or I'm not a believer. There's much more to Twitter than just that. And the key here with Twitter is to start to form relationships. If you're following folks that are very prominent within the community, such as Scott Lowe, for whatever reason, Scott was the first name that jumped to mind, and I'm drawing a blank on everyone else. But we all know who the more prominent folks within the community are. Reach out to them, say hi on Twitter, ask them questions about a blog post, and over time you'll start to build those relationships. And I've experienced that as well. I've met folks that I really looked up to. I really admired the work that they did. Had a little bit of the fanboy feeling when I met them, and over the course of years, we're now good friends. And that wouldn't have happened without social media, without getting out and about within a conference. So ask for help. Pay it forward. Don't be shy. If you learn something at work, well, then perhaps you might want to blog about it. Of course, sanitized as necessary. Be respectful, be professional, and use the tools that are out there to learn more about the industry, products, etc. Some people can be off-putting. Not all of us have personalities that always work well together, and that's understandable. You know, we've all met folks that you may or may not immediately get along with. However, that goes back to being professional and respectful, and you know, trying to focus on the purpose of why you're there, and that's to give back to the folks within your circle. Do your certifications, share your viewpoint. So back to Twitter, put your face on there. It's much easier when you're meeting people to say, oh, hey, I know your face, right? I follow you on Twitter. I know this and that. Again, back to being professional, disclaim stuff. If you're retweeting or using some sort of canned corporate social media tweets, make sure that people know it. Put a disclaimer on your blog. You know, I don't speak for the company, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Because we want to be able to be above reproach in terms of our professionality. So that's a really good tip. Turn off automated tweets. I mean, seriously, I love you guys, but I don't need to see you check in at 7-Eleven on Foursquare. I don't need to see all the wonderful beers you've been able to drink around the world. That's great, but you have to understand your audience, and not everyone wants to see it. And from there, you can, if you've got a good Twitter client, I personally use Tweetbot, and I love it, mute those things. If you are at home and you don't want to see the 1,000 bajillion VMworld tweets that come out, mute it. Mute it temporarily, mute it permanently. Do whatever you need to. Be respectful, have integrity, and be real. Why blogging? Blogging allows you to kind of set yourself apart. And what I mean by that is not everyone feels comfortable in their writing style. Not everyone you know, kind of wants to be out there. Not everyone can. However, it's there for you to basically pass along your professional knowledge. I started blogging because I was working as a production admin, and there were a number of problems that I had solved in my job, let's say automating with PowerCLI or PowerShell, etc. And, you know, rather than just kind of writing it down on an internal SharePoint or what have you, I was able to kind of sanitize the work that I had done and then blog about it. And it's actually kind of funny when you Google something and your blog post comes up at the top result. I've done that. I know others that have done that, and it's a little bit of one of those facepalm moments. But it's it's kind of funny. So document your successes. Understand that the reason that you're doing it is to put it out there for folks to take advantage of. I actually wrote a blog post years ago about using PowerShell to automate RibXML for the HPC class chassis. For whatever reason, that silly thing is done very well, and I would have had no idea. I thought it was a convoluted, nasty bit of nonsense. If you've ever worked with it, a few years ago it was nasty. I haven't seen it since. I would assume that it's gotten much better. But the point is, if you solve a problem, blog about it. So ways that you can get involved, of course, professionalvmware.com. You can follow us at vBrownbag on Twitter. We have the hashtag vBrownbag. So during shows, both conferences, webinars, etc., you can be a part of that conversation on Twitter. And we encourage that participation throughout the webinar. You don't always have to attend in person, but reach out to the people that posted, that have presented, engage within that conversation. And so that's pretty much what I have. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to talking to everyone again.